Alright, welcome everybody. Here's for the AD ranged build, right? If you're AD ranged, your core build for this team that we're all building together is going to be the Bloodthirster, Runaan's Hurricane, and Essence Reaver. You could really put Death's Dance as your third item, sometimes Infinity Edge, but Essence Reaver as AD range is really going to be the best for what we want. And your fourth item, you're always going to decide in game, okay, which item do I want of these two to be fourth, Blade of the Ruined King or Phantom Dancer? And you're going to see a ton of variations, a ton of other stuff that we can work around, a core team here. So let's check it out. Alright, I'm going to start out by just showing everyone how you could jungle. So we're going to take this 50% attack speed item, and we're going to work with that core build. You see Runaan's Hurricane, Bloodthirster, Essence Reaver. We're going to finish that off with Phantom Dancer and Death's Dance. That's going to be really tight. We have other variations of that. This is with the Infinity Edge. If you want to do Infinity Edge, you're going to end up doing your attack speed. We really want to see you get your AoE damage item as early as possible. In this build, you want to get your AoE item, Runaan's Hurricane or Ravenous Hydra, depending on what build you're doing, as early as possible. By your third item is when we ask you nicely. Then I'll show you some more variations also. This is with no Infinity Edge. This is great. Essence Reaver with Blade of the Ruined King and Death's Dance finish. I mean, completely different than the Phantom Dancer. This will make you really tanky, and this Essence Reaver, tons of cooldown. It's really cool. But at the end of every game, okay, that we start out as a jungle, we want to see a final build that looks very similar to this. And if it's not this exactly, okay, this is a build with Infinity Edge. Alright, that really just pulls in everything perfectly. Bloodthirster, Runaan's Hurricane, Essence Reaver, Blade of the Ruined King, Death's Dance, Infinity Edge. Alright, we're going to check out a few variations. This is kind of an advanced, very specific. If you don't want to use the Runaan's Hurricane, if you have to, this is another version. I want to show you all kinds of versions because I want you to get a really good feel for there's not just one way to play this. There's tons of opportunities and ways to counter opponents, specifically with exactly this build. This one's also without Infinity Edge. If you're trying to rock that angle, very tanky. I mean, you can use the CC Quicksilver Sash here, the Quicksilver active. That's really nice. And this is really cool as well. But so whether you're playing jungle or whether you're playing AD ranged in lane, those are a few great options for builds here that we can all put together for a final build that's unique and core to this team. So let's check out, if I'm AD range and I'm in the lane. Well, we're going to start with the Bloodthirster and immediately open with Runaan's Hurricane. On this team, we really want everyone to have an AoE. You want to hit 3 or more targets with every auto attack. That's where this team really propels damage and really does well in the end game. Is when we all, by our third item, have that. So let's move on. We got Essence Reaver. The best really to do next after Essence Reaver, which is a great middle item, especially not Infinity Edge yet. Really important is going to be the Blade of the Ruined King. You can always swap Blade of the Ruined King placement with Phantom Dancer, but just remember if you are building Phantom Dancer 4th, okay, and Blade of the Ruined King 6th, just like that. Just remember to get the other item once you get there. If you don't want to use Infinity Edge, we can use damage item first, attack speed item second, damage item third, attack speed item fourth. Okay, damage item 5th, attack speed item 6th. And our core build is attack damage with attack speed with critical strike. Okay, and these are kind of our few opening ways to do that with a starter build. Now, after we finish all these starter builds, no matter which one we do, you can use your own variation, keep it with it. I mean, the maximum is 20% lifesteal, so Bloodthirster takes priority over Essence Reaver, Death's Dance, Hextech Gunblade, it's the highest damage in the game with the highest lifesteal, and it gives you that passive overheal to block some bonus damage, which is very, very unique, and it's very strong, especially in consideration when you're fighting a one-on-one with another item early on. But just remember, once you finish all these 6 items, you're going to be looking at, okay, what are we going to do now? That was just a starter build. What are going to be our final 6 items? Which I showed you before. Okay, they're the same as the AD jungler, who would be ranged. with the final builds here. I showed you them before, so I think we can move on. And now we want to check out counter pages. Okay, we know that our core is Bloodthirster, Runaan's Hurricane, Essence Reaver. If we're in lane, we're 80 ranged. Alright, so here's a few counter builds that we can do specifically against an opponent, 3 or more opponents with armor. Okay, we don't ever want to just succumb to countering one opponent when we should be looking at, this is a team game. So we're going to start with our core build. Okay, the core first 3 items with Lord Dominic's Regards, Yumu's Ghostblade, and Duskblade of Drathar. Actually, I really like the Black Cleaver, so let's shove in the Cleaver instead of Yumu. We know that the Cleaver, right, and specifically why we're doing this, not Yumu's, there's a little mistake here, oops, whatever, is because our armor penetration can get up to 24%, where Yumu's only gets 18 lethality. So it's going to be an extreme maximum build, where we're taking the 21 lethality over the 18 lethality. Also, this is a great item anyways. This has a ton of bonus extra damage. I mean, this would be this would be unique and perfect for taking down someone with a team with 3 or more armor. Whatever, champions. This, of course, if you can see early on, okay, generally the starter build that I will show you is going to be perfect for opponents with max health. And generally it's going to work just fine against opponents with armor as well. But specifically, if you know what's happening, you can see it, and it's just what's going to go down. Okay, Blade of the Rune King does a 3% damage to, or 8% to the target's health. It's really great at shredding health against tanks and max health opponents. Also, this one as well, mortal reminder, the Executioner passive here, inflicting grievous wounds, is really going to hurt for champions who have maximum health that also have very high health regeneration. And Infinity Edge is one of our best penetration item in the game because of that true damage with the critical strike effect. So this is going to be perfect for... but these are all unique to... We only want to have 1 or 2 people on the team that we call out all together and say, okay, we need you to do the verse 3 or more, our 3 opponents are ability power, and they're looking really strong. We want to counter them. Okay, hey guys, I'm the best at doing that. Why don't I do it? Okay, bro. Here, you do the build for the page. All right, so this one is a little bit to explain. Looks very similar. We see our core build. Okay, all my mortars. This just has magic resist, which is great, and it's gonna just make us last longer, especially for those 3 opponents that are ability power heavy. And especially if they happen to have some great CCs, a little bit more magic resist. But this is unique that it has lifesteal and a ton of damage on it. Now this part is tricky for you. You have to look at your abilities and decide, do I have any that have ability power? Any of my abilities scale with ability power, which will make Hextech Gunblade very, very strong, because when your abilities start to heal you, especially against an ability power opponent, that's going to be a ton of extra healing, survivability, that a lifesteal team will have that no one else has. And if you don't have, if you're an ADC, if you are ranged, and you don't really have any abilities with ability power that are unique to doing damage, that deal damage, okay, that's how lifesteal works. You have to deal damage first to have it heal you. If none of your ability power moves really deal that much damage, a Rock Death Dance instead of Hextech Gunblade, that's what's happening. That's why you see 7 items in this set, huh? Alright, now we also have, a great idea against a team with lifesteal, okay, is that we inflict those grievous wounds with this mortal reminder. After our core build, of course. We never want to give up our 4th item because it's so unique. It is the best always, okay? But at this moment, this will be really strong, and we know that our best 2 lethality items in the game, even though this is in order perfectly who has the most lethality, in the end, our best 2 lethality items in the game are going to be Blade of the Rune King and Infinity Edge. So, especially with people who have lifesteal. But there's tons of different endings. So I would assume to start out the core build, hit this for grievous wounds, and if you want to finish with the Death's Dance and a Phantom Dancer, that's going to be fine too. I just don't have the 30 more rune pages to show you every variation. So I kind of want to just leave it at that, give you something to work on, give you something to check out, and take it from there. So that attack damage ranged. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. More to come soon.